Okay, so our next candidate is Representative from the 79th District, Al Pscholka. Al, so glad you're here.
Well, thank you. Good evening, and Tea Party Patriots, keep it up. Keep the involvement up. 4 years ago, we met out at the community room in Benton Township, and I gave you some reasons why I wanted to run for state office, because Michigan was a mess. We had a structural budget deficit of $1.5 billion. We were $75 billion in the hole, in the red. We had lost 800,000 jobs under the Granholm administration, and we were the only state to lose population in the last 10 years. Hurricane Katrina came through, but Michigan lost population. We needed big changes. We needed to get our fiscal house in order. I ran on a very simple platform, kind of follows what Harry talked about earlier. Fiscal house in order, lower our debt, balance our budget, get a better business climate, more accountability in government, and a lot of government reform. So what did we do? That first year, we did something that hadn't happened in government in a long time. We spent less money than the year before. Well, my old German grandfather taught me a lesson that said, you always spend less than you take in. And that's what we have done for 4 consecutive years. But we've done more than that. I want to go through the list of reforms just to remind folks of the reforms that we've made. So we got there. The first year, we balanced the budget. We spent less money. We eliminated the worst business tax in the history of the world, the Michigan business tax. It's gone. We've got a chance to eliminate the personal property tax in August. We reformed pensions in Michigan, and guess what? We saved you, with one vote, $21 billion. We knocked off our pension debt. $21 billion. We lowered the income tax rate. We reformed unemployment. We reformed workers' compensation. We ended up with a surplus. For the first time, Michigan had a surplus in 10 years. So we had a budget surplus, and now we have a rainy day fund of about $700 million. All of these reforms, and I'm not done with them yet, led to a better business climate because we want our kids and grandkids here. I'm tired of losing our kids and grandkids. The most important thing to me is my family and my faith. That's what I take to Lansing every day. And we want to make decisions so that we can have our kids and grandkids close to us. So the changes and all the reforms that we made were to do that. And we created 286,000 private sector jobs. They looked in the paper today, and we've got another 18 coming from Wolverine Stamping. Oh, we did another little thing that people never thought we would do in Michigan. We're a right-to-work state. Did anybody think? Not only did I vote for right to work, I defended it. I passed a budget that actually cut spending to Wayne State because they wanted to circumvent the right to work law. I was the only representative to pass a bill to defend right to work. So where are we now? Michigan is 6th in gross domestic product. We have rising incomes. Home values are coming back. We're starting to see our kids come back to the area. Michigan's on the move again. But we've got more work to do. You're right, Dave. We certainly do. I do want to say something about Medicaid and this whole notion of Obamacare. I don't like Obamacare either. I hate it. It's bad for the country and it's bad for our families. But here's the choice I had as a state lawmaker. The Supreme Court, John Roberts, you messed up. The Supreme Court ruled it was constitutional, it was a tax. My first question is, how much are you taxing the people of Michigan? $2 billion was the answer. Where's that money going? To Barack Obama's federal bureaucrats? No, it's not. I will fight Barack Obama's bureaucrats every time. I want that money back in Michigan. That's why we made the reforms in Medicaid that we did. They're the most conservative private sector reforms out there. That's not me talking. That's the New England Journal of Medicine. That's the Kaiser Health Foundation. We wanted that money back in Michigan. I don't want that money in DC. I'm tired of donating money to DC. My gas tax goes to DC, I get 90 cents back. My income tax goes to DC, I get 80 cents back. No, I want that money here, I want it in the private sector, and I want it in Michigan. That's why we changed Medicaid in Michigan. It's run by the private sector. It has a 48-month cap. After 48 months, you got a choice. You can stay in Medicaid or you can buy your own insurance. And you're going to pay a copay, you're going to pay a deductible, we're going to have preventative programs, we're going to lower health care costs. I am tired of paying everybody else's trip to the emergency room.
Amen.
$900 million a year in uncompensated care. At your local hospital, it's $45 million. Who do you think pays for that? You do, with higher services and higher costs. That's why we had to get in there and fix Medicaid. That's what we did. It's based on private sector reforms. It's run by the private sector. There's 13 Medicaid HMOs that are competing with each other. And right now, right today, that liberal governor, Mike Pence, down in Indiana, is stealing our plan. He's trying to do the same thing. And other states are looking at it as the model on how to do reform. We've done big reforms in Michigan. Now, I know you're not going to agree with me all the time. I understand. My wife doesn't agree with me all the time. If I can get to 90% with her, that's good. I really like that. But a little bit on my background, I'm a small business guy. I own 2 small businesses, so I've signed the front of a paycheck. I've balanced the budget. I served on the Lincoln Township Board for 8 years. Balanced the budget every year without increasing taxes. I've been in the Michigan House now 4 years, balanced the budget and lowered taxes. And I ran for office, this might sound selfish, because my daughter couldn't get a job in Michigan. And it made me angry. She went to a 4-year school, she graduated from Lakeshore, she did everything right, and she couldn't get a job in Michigan. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to Lansing, I'm gonna fix things. We're gonna do a lot of big things. We've done so many reforms, we can't even get to them all. Michigan is a different place. You never thought Michigan would be a right-to-work state. You never thought Michigan would make all of these changes. Michigan's on the move, we gotta keep it going. Are we gonna disagree on some issues? You bet. I voted 1,800 times in the legislature. Chances are you're gonna disagree with me on a couple, I would hope. Like Dave, I love your involvement and your passion. Harry mentioned principles, balancing the budget, lowering debt. That's what we've done. We've lowered debt by $21 billion in the state, we're not done. In the budget that we just passed a couple of weeks ago, we lowered it another $1 billion we paid down on our debt. I don't want to put that on our kids and grandkids. It's not fair. When I talk to high school kids, I say, you should be mad. Your government, the federal government, $90 trillion in debt and unfunded liabilities. What we have done to that generation is terrible. We're not doing it in Michigan. We're balancing that budget every year. We're paying down debt every year. Every year I've been there, every year he's been there, that's been the case. We put another $100 million in the rainy day fund. Now, we still got things to do, because when I knock on people's doors, guess what they tell me? You better fix the roads, Representative, right? We passed a bill in the House that would get about $550 million without increasing your taxes. And the Senate hasn't taken it up yet. I hope they will when we get back, because it makes sense. It takes all of the sales tax on gas and puts it towards roads, towards pavement, not towards administration. So Michigan is on the move again, and we're making progress. That's why I'm asking for your vote on August 5th. Like Dave, I've been endorsed by Right to Life, National Rifle Association, and the Farm Bureau, Small Business Administration, or Small Business Association, and many others as well, because I have a record of getting things done. I got some good news today. I've been working 1.5 years to try to clean up that landfill out in Waterville, and the smells are starting to go down. They've been monitored. We've forced them to make changes out there. They're dewatering those wells. They're drilling more of them. And that's the type of service that I like to provide. I like to solve problems. That's why I'm in this job. Solve problems, get things done, provide some real results. I am part of the leadership of the House. I'm the chairman of the Republican caucus. And I am looking to be a leader. Because the judges in this county ought to be happy I was there. Because now we have that judgeship that was going away. Because I went and stopped the bill. So it's good to have people in leadership. So I am honored to be a representative. I really am. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's an honor to serve you. I look forward to serving you again. God bless.
You gotta take that down for me.
Oh, that's right. We'll adjust it right now.
Yeah.
Okay.